you really put anything past Howie Vision? I mean, that's why when I hear the Eagles are the #1 target for Jessie Bates, I believe it. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes.
I'm a grown-ass man. See, I'm a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man.
Hey everybody, King Dingbat here. I'm in my garage with a cigar. It's only a candy cigar because my wife won't let me smoke one after I put that big fat head up in our bedroom.
Let's get rid of that. At this point, I'd be happy for Dak to be playing for somebody else. And my team stinks. I agree. Stinks.
They laugh about us. We're a disgrace. We suck.
I am now Philly 500's bitch.
Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, I think most Eagle fans believe that if the Eagles were to trade for Jessie Bates, it would be the final nail in the coffin, the final piece needed to really solidify this defense to one of the best in the NFL. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe for Eagles daily content. You don't want to miss any of it, especially with the season getting ready to start. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just do me a favor. Double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube acts, a little bit goofy and all that kind of stuff. Now, I want to jump right into this because it really feels like this whole Jessie Bates thing is starting to snowball upon itself. The rumors are going out there. We know that Jessie Bates isn't reporting to camp. He doesn't want to play under a franchise tag. And if he doesn't get an extension, the extension he wants, he ain't showing up for the Bengals camp. Now, the Bengals are the AFC Conference champions, okay? They gotta be looking at their team going, listen, we got a chance to go back. We got a young quarterback. We got Jamar Chase. We could go back. The last thing they want to deal with is a holdout, okay? And listen, they could try to strong arm him and they can not play any games with him, but they're only going to hurt their team. At some point, the Cincinnati Bengals, if they can't sign this guy and get him to camp, they're going to trade him. The question is, where will he go? And how much is it going to cost? And when will it happen? Those are the three things that I think about. I think it's more likely that if Jessie Bates was to get traded, it would happen closer to the trade deadline, once he's held out for a while and they're totally and completely frustrated. I don't think it happens before camp. I don't think it happens early in camp. He's got to get the Cincinnati Bengals to their breaking point. Where that is, I don't know. The question is would the Eagles pursue him? That's the question, and some people believe they would. They believe the Eagles would. Eagles inquiring about trading for disgruntled All-Pro report. Now, here's what it said. CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin recently listed the Eagles atop a list of potential trade destinations for Bates. Benjamin doubled down on his thinking during a recent appearance on Sports Radio 94 WIP by telling Angelo Cataldi, quote, I think there is no question that Howie is inquiring about this because Jessie Bates plays the one position really that the Eagles didn't address with a major upgrade this offseason. And if you look at Cody Benjamin's list of top trade destinations for Jessie Bates, as you can see here, number 1 on the list, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2 on the list, the Dallas Cowboys. Now that kind of throws me off because I think if the Cowboys were going to go make a move for a player, I'm thinking they're going to go after like DK Metcalf, So it's pretty interesting. But the Eagles are the top of the list, followed by the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Colts, Niners, the Washington no-names, the Commanders, stupid name, and then the New York Jets. I think the Jets probably should be a little higher on this list. However, the Bengals, if they were to trade Jessie Bates, it's probably fair to say that the first thing they want to do is keep him out of the conference. So it would make sense for the Eagles. Now, Bates would come in and he would take over for where Epps is playing, right? And then you have Anthony Harris and Tart battling that safety spot. So really, if you were to get Jessie Bates, I mean, I don't really foresee too much weakness on this defense, especially in the secondary. It would be a fantastic, smart move by the Eagles. I think the Eagles should definitely look into this, because this is a guy that you would sign for the long term. He's young, and you want him to be a part of this defense for years to come. You still have a safety problem in a year, right? We got to see what Epps does. I like Epps, but we got to see if he's a guy that is a long-term solution. Then you have Anthony Harris and Tart, both on one-year deals, so they both could be gone. Now you're stuck with potentially needing two safety spots again next year. Jessie Bates, if you signed him, give him his contract, he's there for the next 5 years. That takes care of one of the safety spots. So it makes sense for the Eagles to go out and get a guy like this, or at least try. I mean, and it makes sense. It's kind of what they've done this whole offseason. Going out and getting A.J. Brown. Here's a guy that is not here for just 1 year. He's here for the next 5 years, right? Hassan Reddick, he's here for 3 more years. So the Eagles have gone out and got guys that are going to be here more than just 1 year. So this could be to me, it'd be a very smart move if the Eagles could pull it off. The question is going to be, what do you give up for Bates? What are they going to want? I'm sure early on in negotiations, they're going to want at least a first-round pick. That's going to be probably the going rate. Now, the Eagles have 2 first-round picks next year. I'm not trading either of those first-round picks. I can't trade either of those first-round picks until I know what I have in Jalen Hurts. Because the whole reason the Eagles traded one of those first-round picks next year was to have some sort of insurance in case they have to take multiple first-round picks and try to move up and get a quarterback. And until you know what Jalen Hurts is, I think you have to avoid giving one of those first-round picks. Now, if you want to give up a second-round pick, I'm totally okay with that. If you want to give up some sort of combination of like a third-round pick and then you want to throw in a player or something like that, I think that wouldn't be a bad move. Andre Dillard, to me, may have the most potential in terms of a trade. A team like the Bengals, who could use offensive line help, okay? They have Joe Burrow, who went to the Super Bowl in the second year, but the first year he got hurt. A guy like Andre Dillard may be a piece that you throw in to try to make this happen. Maybe you throw in him and Regular. Who wants Regular? That's the problem with Regular. But you gotta find a deal out. If I could do it, if I could avoid Jessie, if I could avoid a first-round pick for Jessie Bates, and then just, maybe package like a second and Dillard or something, I don't know. But if you could avoid giving up a first-round pick, then you do it. Now, if you wait till like the trade deadline, right, which this is where I think he gets traded. I think he gets traded closer to the trade deadline or at the trade deadline. Now, they may lose a lot of value in waiting till the trade deadline to move him, which may help the Eagles. But at least at that point, if the Eagles had to give away a first-round pick, at least you would know where Jalen Hurts is, right? By the trade deadline, we should have a pretty good idea. This kid's the future, he's going to get another year, or no, we need these first-round picks. And if everything goes good and you're in, you're winning your division, which I expect the Eagles to win the division, at the very least, if this team does not win the division, it's a problem. It's a problem. My expectations, at the very least for this team, is to win the division. Anything less than that is a disappointment. Washington stinks. The Giants stink. I mean, you can't stink any worse than them. And then you got Dallas, who's taken 4 steps back that I think now stink. I'm coming for the meats, Dallas Cowboys. Mark Holmes. There is no question in my mind that the Eagles have to win this division at very least. At very least. Now, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl or anything like that. I'm not going there. I'm just saying, at the very least, the Eagles' floor should be to win this division. And if you're going to win this division, then at the trade deadline, you should be looking at acquiring talent. Okay? And if Jessie Bates is available around that trade deadline, and you know that Hurts is the guy because he's gone out and he's played well enough that he's put you in a position to win the division, then maybe at that point you can consider whatever first-round pick or whatever draft pick you have to get Jessie Bates. But Jessie Bates on the Eagles solidifies that safety position for a long time. For a long time. And you know, if Epps doesn't work out, you have Jessie Bates. Let Tart and Anthony Harris battle that spot, and boom, there we go. So, do I think the Eagles are inquiring about Jessie Bates? I'm absolutely sure of it. I'm sure of it. They would be stupid not to. It makes too much sense. It's a perfect fit for the Eagles to go out and get Jessie Bates. It's the perfect fit. And that's why I think definitely the Eagles are going after him. Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. It's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Better Call Saul last night was one of the best episodes ever. Ever. Okay? For those that have watched it, here's what I'm going to say. And it's not even that much of a spoiler, I don't think. Because everybody knows watching Better Call Saul that eventually the transition had to happen. It had to happen. The question is how do you make it happen? And I think the writers, Better Call Saul, they did the perfect transition from Better Call Saul to the Breaking Bad timeline. We are now in the Breaking Bad timeline. And it's badass, man. It is badass. If you haven't watched that show, start watching it. There are 4 episodes left. You don't want to miss it. Denzel Washington, out.